welcome back to GL Yuri Tales, where every story is original, every love is complicated, and nobody leaves without feeling something. I'm so glad you're here.
Now, get comfortable, because this one is gonna get you. Let's go.
Before I tell you this story, I need you to understand something. I am a reasonable person. I make good decisions. I mind my business. I live a quiet, drama-free life. Nothing chaotic. Nothing embarrassing. That is no longer true because of one package and one woman. My name is Jade. I'm 25. Graphic designer, work from home, apartment 4B. My life, predictable. Across the hall is Mrs. Patterson, 72, feeds pigeons, leaves passive-aggressive notes about carbs. That was the peak of excitement in my life, until 6 weeks ago. At exactly 11:30 p.m., my best friend Destiny sent me a link. Now, Destiny is 5'2", loud, chaotic, and has never respected a boundary in her life. Her message said, "Girl, you need this. Life-changing." I had just spent 9 hours working for a client who kept saying my designs weren't the vibe. Not what vibe. Not how vibe. Just not the vibe. So when Destiny said life-changing, it was a vibrator. A very professional one. Very clean website. Okay, it was a vibrator. I ordered it. And then I completely forgot about it. Until Tuesday evening, bad day. Client rejected my work. Again, I'm on my couch eating cereal for dinner, wearing a hoodie that's been almost fixed for 2 years. And then, knock. Now understand this, nobody knocks on my door. I froze. Spoon halfway to my mouth, brain buffering. I looked at myself. The hoodie, the hair, the cereal. You know what? Whoever it is gets what they get. I opened the door and, yeah, my neighbor. Apartment 4A. I had seen her before, a few times. Hallway nods, quick glances. But up close, that was a different situation. Tall, short dark hair, calm face like nothing in this world could surprise her. And her arms. No, we're not doing this. We're staying focused. She was holding a package. My package. "My mistake," she said. "This got delivered to me." And listen, her voice, calm, like she didn't need to raise it for people to listen. "Thank you," I said. She nodded, turned to leave. Normal interaction, completely normal. And then I looked down at the box, and my soul left my body. There was a product image. Small, but visible. Very visible. The kind of visible where if someone holds the box for more than 5 seconds, they know. And she had walked it across the hallway, which means she knew. I looked up. She had stopped walking, turned back. Same calm expression. We just stood there, in silence. She knew that I knew. I knew that she knew. And then, without smiling, without blinking, completely serious. Nice product, by the way. I died. Instantly. Emotionally. Spiritually. Legally. Gone. And what did my mouth say? Thanks. Like she complimented my outfit. She nodded once. Turned. Walked back into 4A. Door closed. Gone. Across the hall, Mrs. Patterson's door opened. She looked. Assessed. No words. A wise woman. I went back inside. Locked my door. Stared at the box. Opened it. Because I already paid for it. And listen, Destiny was not wrong. It was a nice product. That is not the point. I called her immediately. Second ring. "My neighbor brought my package," I said. "Which package?" she asked. "The vibrator, Destiny, silence." Then, oh no. She saw the label. She saw everything. "Is she cute?" Destiny asked. "That is not the point. Is she cute, Jade?" I paused. Thought about tall, short dark hair. Those arms. I've had a crush on her since she moved in, I admitted. I've seen her 3 times, and every time I had to sit down afterward. And now she knows about my vibrator. I want to move. Destiny was quiet for exactly 1 second. Then, "This is either the worst thing that's ever happened to you, or the beginning of the best story of your life. It's the worst," I said. She said. I hung up. Stared at the wall between my apartment and 4A. Thought about, "Nice product, by the way." Said with a straight face, "This is fine," I said out loud. It was not fine, not even a little. Because what I didn't know was that the next night, she was going to hear even more. Okay, so remember how I said the next night she was going to hear even more? Yeah, that. Now, before you judge me, understand something. I had a week, the client, the vibe, the package, the humiliation, and Destiny had said 2 very important words, life-changing. So Thursday night, I decided to verify. For research purposes, I finished work, ate real food, I want credit for that, showered, got comfortable, and I thought, 1,405 five-star reviews. How bad could it be? Listen, the reviews were not lying. That's all I'm going to say. Life, changing. And when something is that good, you get expressive, vocally, more than expected. Significantly with the window open. The window I forgot was open. Because it was warm. Because I liked the breeze. Because I was not thinking about windows. At all. Afterward, I'm lying there, staring at the ceiling, reevaluating my entire existence. Destiny was right. I'd been changed. As a person, as a citizen, as a member of society. I got up to get water, walked over to the window to close it, reached for the latch, and looked up, and across the courtyard, at the building directly opposite mine, at the window directly facing mine, standing there, in the light, calm, unbothered, glass of water in her hand, was Alex, from Fora. I want to tell you I handled this well. I did not. I made a sound, not a word, just a sound. Grabbed the window, slammed it shut, stepped back, and just stood there, in silence, processing. Because let's think about this. She was at her window. My window was open, which means she heard everything. Everything. Not everything. I sat on my bed, very slowly, like if I moved too fast reality would get worse. She heard me. The thought came in slowly. Then all at once. She heard everything. I grabbed my pillow, considered disappearing into it permanently. And then, my phone lit up. Unknown number. Atlanta area code. No. I already knew. I opened it. Message, you good over there? I stared at the screen. Another message. This is Alex. 4A? I stopped breathing. Third message. Got your number from the building directory. Of course she did. Of course there's a directory. Of course my suffering is organized and accessible. Then, thin walls, pause, or in this case, open windows. I lay back on my bed, phone on my chest, soul outside my body. And then, the final message. 3 words. 3 extremely dangerous words. I can help. I read it once, twice, 4 times. I can help. Help with what? Alex, what exactly? I sat up, typed, deleted, typed again, panicked. Then sent, I'm fine, thank you. Immediately regretted the thank you. Why do I keep thanking this woman? She replied instantly. Sure, I typed, completely fine, just stretching. I said stretching. At 11 p.m., after everything she just heard. There was a pause, then at 11 p.m. Yes, I typed. Another pause. Then, okay, good night, Jade. I dropped my phone, laid flat on my bed, stared at the ceiling. Stretching, I whispered. I said stretching. I called Destiny. She picked up immediately. She heard me. I said he. Do what? She asked slowly. Through the window, Destiny. Silence. Jade? She was at her window. Jade. And she texted me. She has your number. Building directory. Oh my God. And she said. I stopped. Said what? Destiny asked. Very quietly. I can help. Destiny screamed. Not a normal scream. A full, unhinged, soul-leaving body scream. What did you say back? I said I was stretching. The sound she made. I have never heard it before. You said, she gasped, that you were stretching. I panicked. What were you stretching? I don't know. Jade. Goodbye, Destiny. I hung up, saved Alex's number. Very fast. Too fast. Not proud of it, but I did it. Alex. 4A. Like I was going to forget. Like that was even possible. I turned off my light, laid in the dark, and all I could think about was her, standing there, at that window, calm, unbothered. Like even that hadn't surprised her. I can help. I closed my eyes, didn't sleep for a very long time. Because now, this wasn't just embarrassing, it was something else, something worse, something more dangerous. Because the truth was, I didn't just want to avoid her anymore. I wanted to know what she meant. By help after the window situation, I made a decision, a strong one, a necessary one, a completely unrealistic. I was going to avoid her, completely, indefinitely, forever, if needed. I know, avoidance is not a solution. Destiny told me that multiple times, with passion. But knowing something and doing something, 2 very different skill sets. And at that moment, I only had one. Day 1 of operation, avoid Alex. I needed groceries. Simple. Basic human task. I walked to my door, stopped, turned, went to the peephole, looked out. Nothing. Silence. No movement from 4A. I waited. 30 seconds. 1 minute. 3 minutes. Still nothing. Coast clear, I whispered. I opened the door, took 2 steps out. The elevator opened, and Alex walked out. We made eye contact. For exactly 1 second, I turned around immediately, walked straight back into my apartment, closed the door, locked it, stood there, listening to her footsteps pass. Her door opening, closing. Silence? That was smooth, I said out loud. It was not smooth. It was the most obvious thing a human being has ever done in a hallway. Day 2. I had a system now, a solid one. Peephole check minimum 3 minutes. Listen for movement from 4A. Only exit during confirmed silence. Always take the stairs. This was strategy. This was survival. This was working. I opened my door, stepped out, and she was there, leaning against the wall. Right next to my door, arms crossed, scrolling through her phone, like she had just appeared, like she had always been there. She looked up. I froze. She looked at me. I looked at the stairs. She raised one eyebrow, just one. The kind that says, "Go ahead, I dare you, morning," she said. Calm, like nothing had ever happened. "Morning," I said, and walked to the stairs. Again, with what little dignity I had left, which was not a lot. Behind me, I heard it. A quiet laugh, soft, barely there, but I heard it. And listen, even walking away, even in full retreat mode, that laugh did something to me. Something I was not ready to. That night, I called destiny. "The avoidance isn't working," I said. "I told you," she replied immediately. "She was outside my door this morning, which means she's not avoiding you," Destiny said. "She's waiting for you." She was not waiting. Jade? What? Stop taking the stairs. I can't. Why not? I paced my living room. Because how do you explain this? How do you explain every time I see her? I remember the package, the window, the text. I can help in those arms. Because every time I see her, I said slowly, I think about everything. Everything? Destiny asked. Everything. There was a pause. Then, "Oh," Destiny said. "Oh, yeah. Jade, what? Oh, you don't have an embarrassment problem. You have a crush problem." I stopped walking. "That is not helpful." "It's very helpful," she said. "She knows about the package." "Yes." "She knows about the window." "Yes." "And she's still up." "Yes." "So what exactly are you protecting yourself from?" I didn't answer, because I didn't have one. Or maybe I did. And that was the problem. Day 4, also known as the day everything collapsed, because on day 4, my car died. Now listen, my car, Brenda, is usually reliable, but occasionally she decides, not today, without warning, without explanation. Today was that day. And of course, I had a meeting. In person, with a Vibe client. I went to the parking lot, got in, turned the key, click, nothing, tried again, click, nothing. Third time, because hope is a disease, click, nothing. I sat there, in silence, in my meeting outfit, watching my life fall apart in real time. I got out, closed the door, looked at Brenda. "Et tu, Brenda," I said, and from behind me, "Car trouble?" I closed my eyes. Of course it was her. I turned around. Alex was standing there, keys in hand, already dressed for work, looking at my car like she understood it better than I ever could. "She won't start," I said. "Battery," she said. Didn't even look under the... "I have a meeting," I said. "When?" she asked. 40 minutes. She checked the time, looked at me, back at the car. "Then I can drop you." Just like that. Simple. Like it was nothing. Like this wasn't the worst possible person to be stuck with in a small enclosed space. I opened my mouth. "I'm Finn. Traffic is bad on 5th, she said. "You'll be late." I looked at Brenda. I looked at her. I looked at the time. Okay. And just like that, Operation Avoid Alex ended. So now, I was in her truck, voluntarily. Nobody forced me. I walked into that situation myself, after 4 days of acting like she was a natural disaster. Brenda had betrayed me, completely. The truck was very her. Clean, but lived in. Water bottle in the cup holder, work gloves in the back, and it smelled. Good. I was not thinking about that. The silence lasted about 40 seconds. Then she said, "You can breathe." "I'm breathing," I said. "You're sitting like you're waiting for something to explode." I looked down, back straight, hands in my lap, like I was in a job interview. "I'm a little tense." I noticed Of course she did. She notices everything. There was a pause. And then, is this about the window? I choked. On air, on absolutely nothing. The what? I'm joking? That was a joke. Yes, you cannot make that joke with that face. What's wrong with my face? Nothing, I said. Too fast. I looked out the window, and then she laughed. Quiet, soft, like she couldn't help it. You're a menace, I said. You're dramatic, she said. I am not. You've been taking the stairs for 4 days. I stopped talking. Okay, I said. I was avoiding you. She nodded, like she already knew. Why? She asked. Not accusing, just curious. And before I could stop myself, you make me nervous. Silence. Immediate silence. I turned to the window. Because why would I say that? Why? Why would I say that out loud? And then, softly, you make me nervous too. I turned back. She was looking at the road. But something had changed. Something real. Something unguarded. And suddenly, the air in that truck felt different. Heavier. Warmer. Like something had just shifted. And neither of us knew what to do with it. So I did what any emotionally overwhelmed person would do. I changed the subject. She let me. We talked about nothing. Everything. Like that moment hadn't just happened. Like we hadn't just said something. She pulled up outside my building. Thank you, I said. Good luck with the vibe, she said. She remembered. Of course she remembered. How do you take your coffee? She added. I paused. Why? She shrugged. Just answer, oat milk. 2 sugars. She nodded, like she was filing it away. Go, she said. You're going to be late. I got out, closed the door, walked away. But the whole time, I was thinking about one thing. Why did she want to know how I take my coffee? And why did it feel like that question meant more than it should? I didn't think about her. That's what I told myself. All through the meeting, all through the client finally saying, yeah, this feels like the vibe. Now it's the vibe. After 3 rejections and emotional damage. I nodded, smiled, acted like a professional, but in my head, I was in a truck. You make me nervous too. On repeat, over and over. By the time I got home, I had made a decision. Not a big one, not dramatic. Just, I wasn't going to avoid her anymore. No more stares, no more hiding, no more pretending this was just nothing, because it wasn't nothing. And I knew that. I got to my floor, took the elevator, on purpose, stepped out, walked down the hallway like a normal person, heart beating like I was being chased. I reached my door, looked down, and stopped. There was a coffee cup, sitting right outside my door, still warm, from the cafe on the corner, my cafe, the one I go to when I'm stressed, the one I had mentioned once, one conversation. In a truck, there was a note, small, folded, tucked neatly under the cup. I picked it up, opened it, 4 words, clean handwriting, simple, oat milk, 2 sugars, and underneath, congrats on the vibe. I stood there, in the hallway, for an embarrassing amount of time, just standing, holding a coffee, reading 4 words, like they meant everything. Because somehow, they did, she remembered. Not just the coffee, the meeting, the vibe, everything. From one conversation. I looked at her door, 4A closed. And for the first time, I didn't feel like running from it. I felt like knocking. I didn't, not yet. But I smiled at that door, like a complete idiot, a happy idiot. Still, I went inside, set my bag down, sat on my couch, still holding the coffee. Like if I let go, something about the moment would disappear. I took a sip. Perfect. Exactly how I like it. Of course it was. Of course she got it right. I picked up my phone, called Destiny. She answered on the first ring. She left coffee outside my door, I said. Silence. With a note, I added. She remembered how I take it from one conversation this morning. Another silence. Then, Jade, what? That woman is down bad for you. No, Jade, she was just being nice. She left coffee with a note. It's not that deep. After you avoided her for 4 days. Destiny, what are you going to do? She asked. And that question hit different. Because for the first time, I didn't want to avoid the answer. I looked at the coffee, thought about her in that truck. The way she said, the way she didn't make anything a big deal, but somehow made everything feel important. Something is happening, I said quietly. Something I didn't plan for. Destiny didn't respond immediately. And when she did, her voice was softer. Yeah, she said. I think so. That night, I couldn't focus on anything. Not work, not TV, not even scrolling. Every thought led back to her. The coffee, the note, the way she notices things, small things no one else pays attention to. And I realized something that scared me a little. This wasn't just attraction anymore. It wasn't just, she's hot, she's confident, she said something bold. No, this was intentional, careful, quiet, the kind of attention that doesn't ask for anything back, the kind that just... I opened my door, and for the first time, I didn't check the peephole. I didn't hesitate. I didn't plan an escape route. I just opened it, stepped out, and walked down the hallway, normal, like a person who wasn't in a one-sided war with her own feelings. I passed 4A, slowed down, just a little. Not enough to be obvious, just enough to notice. The door, closed, but not intimidating anymore, just a door with someone behind it. Someone who brought me coffee, who remembered, who made me nervous. In a way I was starting to like, and as I got to the elevator, I realized something else. Something small, but important. I wasn't wondering anymore. If I wanted to see her again, I was wondering, when you know how life can be calm, peaceful, predictable, you're healing, you're growing, you're minding your business, and then, out of nowhere, something breaks. That was my Thursday night. I had just finished work, ate rice and stew full credit, showered, changed into my sleep clothes. I was in bed, phone in hand, living a quiet drama-free life, and then I heard it. From my bathroom, that sound, soft, persistent, deeply disrespectful, water, going somewhere it absolutely should not be going. I froze, listened, hoped, prayed that I imagined it. I did not. I got up, walked to the bathroom, opened the door, turned on the light, looked down, water, spreading across the floor, slow, confident, like it paid rent. No, I said out loud. The water did not care. I opened the cabinet. Now listen, I don't know anything about plumbing. Nothing. Zero. My relationship with pipes is that they exist, and I appreciate that. I Googled it. Google said turn off the valve. Simple. Easy. I found the valve. Tried to turn it, nothing. Tried again, nothing. Tried harder. Still nothing. This valve had not moved since 2003, and I had no plans to start tonight. The water reached the bath mat, then the tile, then started making its way toward my room. Ambitious. Very ambitious. I stood there, in my sleep shirt, at 10:30 p.m., thinking about my options. Maintenance? Closed? Landlord? Unreliable. And then I looked at the wall between my apartment and 4A. No, absolutely not. I am not knocking on her door like this. After everything, after the package, after the window, after stretching. No, I am a strong, independent person. I will fix this myself. 5 minutes later, the water hit my bedroom carpet. Okay, I said. I changed into a slightly more respectable t-shirt, ran my hand through my hair, for practical reasons. Obviously, grabbed a random container from my kitchen, because apparently I thought I could fight water with vibes, and walked to her door, took a breath, knocked, footsteps, unhurried, calm. The door opened, and there she was. Alex, gray t-shirt, gray sweatpants, hair softer than usual, like she had actually been relaxing, like a normal human being. And in her hand, I need you to understand this, she was holding a wrench, again. At 10:30 p.m., just holding it, like it was part of her personality. Her eyes moved from my face, to the container in my hand, back to my face. Pipe, she said. Not a question. Pipe, I confirmed. She stepped out immediately. No hesitation, no sigh. No, this isn't convenient. Just moved. Show me. She walked into my apartment like she had been there before, like she already knew the space, like this wasn't the first time she'd crossed that threshold. Even she looked at the floor, the sink, the pipe, crouched down, reached for the valve, and turned it, easily. Like it had never resisted me. Like it hadn't just embarrassed me for 20 minutes. The water stopped. Immediately. I stared at her. How did you push in before you turn it, she said. Old valves. Of course there's a technique. Of course I didn't know it. She adjusted something else, tightened a fitting, checked underneath. Done. 6 minutes. 6. I had been fighting for my life for almost an hour. She stood up, wiped her hands, looked at me. All good. Like she hadn't just saved my entire apartment. She turned to leave, and something in me panicked. Wait. She stopped, turned back. I have food, I said. You just saved my floor. Least I can do is feed you. She looked at the container in my hand. Were you going to bail water with that? Maybe. That thing happened. That small shift at the corner of her mouth. Almost a smile. Okay, she said. And just like that, Alex from 4A was in my apartment. Not for a hallway conversation, not for a quick interaction. Inside. Staying. I made pasta at almost 11 p.m. because apparently that's who I am now. She sat at the counter, watching me, Not in a weird way, not intense, just present. Like I was worth paying attention to. Like boiling pasta was interesting. It was doing things to me, things I was not ready to unpack. We talked, work, small things, normal things. But it didn't feel normal. It felt easy, like we had skipped something, like we had already moved past the awkward stage without realizing it. At some point, she looked at my laptop. Can I see? I showed her my designs. 3 projects. She looked at them properly, not just glanced, actually looked. This one, she said, the way you use contrast. It moves without being loud. I blinked. You know design. I know structure, she said. Same thing. I don't think anyone had ever described my work like that. Not teachers. No one. That might be the nicest thing anyone has ever said about my work, I said. She shook her head slightly. Like that was unacceptable. Like I deserved better. And something about that quiet, unspoken defense, did something to my chest. Something deep. Something new. We lost track of time. Completely. At some point, I checked my phone. 12:47 a.m. I looked at her. It's late. She glanced toward the bathroom. Then the ceiling. Something in her expression shifted. Focused. Thinking. There might be water in the ceiling, she said. If it spreads, you shouldn't sleep in your room. I looked at my bedroom. Then the couch. Then her. The couch is fine, I said. She nodded, started to stand. You don't have to go. It came out before I could stop it. She paused. Looked at me. It's late, I said. You fixed everything. Ate my slightly overcooked pasta. The couch is comfortable. You can stay. There was a moment. Quiet. Like something important was deciding itself. And then, okay. Just that. Okay. And something about that one word at 12:47 a.m. in my kitchen felt like everything had shifted. I gave her a blanket, a pillow. She said thank you. I said goodnight and went to lie down. Definitely not thinking about the fact that she was in my apartment, just on the other side of the wall. Definitely not that. I fell asleep faster than I expected, because apparently knowing someone capable is nearby does something to your brain, something very unfair. I woke up at 7:15, walked into the living room. The blanket was folded neatly, like she had never been there. And for a second, my chest dropped, like I had imagined everything. And then I smelled it, coffee. I turned, and there she was, in my kitchen, pouring 2 cups like she lived there, like this was normal, like this was something we did. She looked up. Morning. Her voice was softer, less guarded, like sleep had taken something off her edges. In my sleep shirt, hair doing whatever it wanted, completely unprepared for this moment. She slid a cup toward me. I looked at it, then at her. How did you told me. Once. In a truck. Oat milk, 2 sugars. Exactly right. I took a sip. And in that moment, standing in my kitchen at 7:15 a.m., drinking coffee she made, I realized something clear, sharp, undeniable. I was in trouble. Real trouble. Because this wasn't just attraction anymore. This was something real. And I didn't know how to stop it. Or if I even wanted to. Destiny does not visit. Destiny appears. No warning, no planning, no respect for timing, space, or emotional stability. It was Saturday. I heard a knock. Opened my door expecting a delivery. And instead, found Destiny, standing there, with a suitcase, and the confidence of someone who had already decided she was staying. I'm visiting, she said. I can see that, I said. For the weekend. You have a job. I took Friday off. Of course she did. She walked past me like she paid rent. Dropped her suitcase, looked around, stopped, slowly turned back to me. You cleaned? I always clean. You lit a candle. I looked at the candle, on my table, burning. For no reason. At 2 p.m., you don't like candles, she said. I like candles, Jade. What? You have never lit a candle voluntarily in your life. I opened my mouth, closed it. Something happened, she said, settling onto my couch like a detective about to solve a case. My neighbor helped me with a pipe situation, I said. And I cleaned. And lit a candle? She said. The package neighbor? She said immediately. We're not calling her that. Then what are we calling her? Alex. There it was. Her name. Out loud. Destiny's entire face lit up. Oh, this is serious. It's not serious. You said her name. It's her name. You said it like you've been thinking about it. I have not. Knock. Destiny froze. I froze. We looked at each other. Slowly. Together. I already knew. She knew I knew. I walked to the door, opened it. And there she was. Alex. Holding a plate, covered in foil. Of course she was. Made too much, she said simply. I thought you might want some. She cooked. Extra. And brought it over. I stared at the plate. Thank you, I said. It's just pasta, she said. Of course it was pasta. Of course it was. And then she saw Destiny standing in my living room with an expression I can only describe as aggressively delighted. "Hi," Destiny said. "Too fast, too bright." "I'm Destiny." "I've heard so much about you, Destiny." "All good things," she continued calmly. "Mostly about your arms. Destiny, I swear. And the wrench," she added. "There was a wrench." Alex looked at me. "I wanted to disappear through the floor, into the earth, permanently." "She exaggerates," I said. "Do I?" Destiny asked. Alex's mouth moved, just slightly, like she was trying not to smile and failing. "Just a little." "Stay for dinner," Destiny said. Immediate, no hesitation. "We already have pasta. You brought pasta. That would be wasteful." "Destiny." Alex looked at me. I looked at her. "You don't have to," I said. A pause. Small. Quiet. "Okay," she said. Just like that. Destiny's smile expanded to dangerous level. Dinner was a lot. Destiny asked questions like she was conducting an investigation. "Where are you from? What do you do? How long have you lived here? Do you have intentions?" "Destiny." "I'm making conversation. You asked about her intentions. People have intentions." Alex, unbothered, completely. She answered everything calmly, directly, like nothing Destiny said could throw her off. And when Destiny asked, "What are your intentions?" Alex looked at her, then said, "To fix things when they're broken, and mind my business otherwise." Destiny blinked, looked at me, then back at her. "I like you," she said. "Good," Alex replied. And that was, at some point, Alex stepped away. Bathroom. And Destiny grabbed me, dragged me into the kitchen, hands on my shoulders, eyes wide. "She brought you pasta. She made too much, on purpose. You don't know that. Jade, she fixed your pipe." "Yes." "She stayed over. She slept on the couch. She made you coffee. She checked your ceiling while you were asleep." Destiny. "She remembers things you say once." I didn't respond because the first knew. I knew all of it. "She looks at you," Destiny said, "like you're the most interesting thing in the room." I swallowed. "You know how you look at her," she added. I didn't answer. "Like you're trying to figure something out." She wasn't wrong. That was exactly it. Alex felt like a question. One I actually wanted to answer. "More pasta?" Destiny called as Alex came back, smooth, like she hadn't just been interrogating my entire existence. "Sure," Alex said. She sat, looked at me. I looked back, and something about that moment felt different, quieter, more. After dinner, Alex left. Simple, no big moment, no drama, just good night and Destiny watched the door close, then slowly turned to me. "Oh my God. It's not, oh my God. She is in love with you. She is not in love with me. She brought you food. She stayed. She answered my questions without flinching. She looked at you like, what?" Destiny leaned closer, lowered her voice, like she already chose you. That did something deep, unexpected, terrifying. "And you," Destiny said, "are already halfway gone." "I am not." "Jade, what? If you don't do something about this." "I will, Destiny. I mean it. You cannot let a woman like that just exist next door." I looked at the door. 4A thought about everything. The coffee, the truck. "You make me nervous too. The way she stayed, the way she noticed, the way she didn't make anything big, but somehow made everything matter." "Something is happening," I said quietly. Destiny nodded. "Yeah," she said. That night, after Destiny fell asleep on my couch, I stood in my hallway, looking at the wall between us, between me and her, and for the first time, I didn't feel confused or embarrassed or unsure, just aware that whatever this was, it wasn't one-sided, not even a little, and that might be the most dangerous part of all. After Destiny left, things didn't explode. They didn't suddenly become something dramatic. There was no big confession, no sudden shift. It was quieter than that, subtle, like a door that had been slightly open, moving just a little. We didn't talk about it, not directly, but something had changed, and we both knew. It started small. It always. One evening, there was a knock on my door. I opened it. Alex was standing there, holding a screwdriver. "Your cabinet hinge is loose," she said. "You can hear my cabinet hinge?" "It's annoying," she said simply. "Can I fix it?" I stepped aside. Of course I did. She came in, like she belonged there, like she had done it 100 times, even though she hadn't. She fixed it in 4 minutes. 4. I had been living with that sound for 3 months. Thank you, I said. She nodded, started to leave. Do you want tea? I asked. That pause again. That small, quiet moment where something decides itself. Okay, she said. She stayed for an hour. We didn't do anything special. No deep conversations. No dramatic moments. We just talked about random things. Work. A weird client she had once. A project I hated but couldn't explain why. And the entire time, she listened. Not politely, not distracted. Actually listened. Like what I was saying mattered. Like I mattered. And that was new. Another time, I found her in the parking lot. Sunday afternoon, working on her truck. Sleeves rolled up, focused, completely in her element. I stood there for a second, watching. Before I realized I was staring. Then I panicked, went back upstairs, made coffee, came back down. 2 cups. Because apparently that's who I am now. She looked up when I approached. Her eyes moved from me to the coffee. Back to me. I held one out. For you, I said. Black? I added, because I remembered. She took it, looked at it for a second, then at me. You remembered. It wasn't a question. I shrugged, tried to act normal. You fixed my entire apartment, I said. Seemed fair. That small, almost smile again. She leaned back against the truck. I sat on the curb, and we just stayed there. 45 minutes, drinking coffee, talking about nothing and everything. The sun starting to set, people passing by, the world moving around us. And somehow, it felt like we were in our own space, separate from everything else. We started doing that more, not intentionally, not planned. It just happened. She'd knock sometimes. Your light flickers, she'd say. It's fine. It's not fine. She'd fix it. Stay, we'd talk. I'd knock some. I made too much food, I'd say. She'd look at me, at the container, at me again. You made this for 2 people. Maybe. She'd take it. Let me in. We'd sit, eat, talk. It became normal. That was the dangerous part. I started noticing things, small things. The way she says my name, not like a neighbor, not casual, like it means something. The way she looks at me when I'm talking, like she's paying attention to more than just the words. The way she always stands just a little closer than necessary. Not enough to be obvious, just enough to be felt. And me, I was worse, much worse. I started checking the time, wondering if she'd knock, if I'd see her, if I should accidentally run into her. I started saving her texts, rereading them, simple things. On my way, got it, be there in 5, like they meant more than they did. Except, they kind of did. I called Destiny, told her everything. The cabinet hinge, the parking lot coffee, the random the way things were starting to feel different. You like her, she said. Not a question. I know. Are you going to do something about it? I don't know. She lives across the hall. Exactly. It's complicated. It's not complicated, Destiny said. You're just scared. I am not. Jade, what? She brings you food. She fixes your stuff. She sits with you in parking lots for almost an hour doing absolutely nothing. She looks at you like, I know how she looks at Teamy. Silence. Then softer. So what are you waiting for? I didn't answer, because I knew I was waiting for her. But the truth was, she was waiting too. One evening, she knocked. I opened the door, and something about her felt different. Not in a big way, just quieter, more focused. Like she had decided something. We sat on the couch, closer than usual, not touching, but close enough that I could feel her. The conversation slowed, naturally. No effort, just... And then we were just sitting there, looking at each other. Close, too close. Her eyes dropped, just slightly, then came back up. And I thought, okay, this is happening. This is actually happening. And then my phone rang, the ringtone, the client, the Vibe client at 9:30 p.m. on a Thursday. I stared at my phone. Alex looked at it, then at me. Take it, she said. I'm going to throw this phone, I said. She pressed her lips together, like she was trying not to laugh. Take it, she said again. I'll be here, I answered. 9 minutes, 9 full minutes of the Vibe. I said the right things. I ended the call, looked up. She was still there, exactly where she said she'd be, and the moment, that almost moment, was gone. Just like that. We both knew it. Neither of us said anything. She left 20 minutes later. Good night, she said. Good night, I said. And that was it. I sat on my couch, looking at the space she had been, and one thought kept repeating. Next time, I'm turning my phone off. It happened on a Friday, nothing special, no warning, just a normal day. I was coming back from a coffee shop, laptop bag on my shoulder, iced coffee in hand, good mood, clear head, thinking about Alex, which had quietly become my default setting. I turned into the parking lot and stopped. She was there, Alex, standing by her truck, which wasn't unusual. What was unusual was that she wasn't alone. There was a woman with her, tall, dark hair, standing close, laughing, comfortable, the kind of comfortable that doesn't ask permission, the kind that just exists. I stayed where I was, just inside the entrance, not close enough to be seen, but close enough to see. Alex said something. I couldn't hear it, but the woman laughed, light, easy, like she had heard that tone before, like she knew it. Then she reached out, touched Alex's arm. Natural, familiar. And Alex smiled, not the small one, not the quiet, almost smile she gave me. No, this was different, open, warm, unrestricted. I had never seen that one before. Something in my chest shifted, sharp, unexpected. I stood there for another second, maybe two. Then I turned around, walked back out of the parking lot, went straight back to the coffee shop. I sat there for an hour, doing nothing, staring at a wall, holding a drink that melted into something unrecognizable, because suddenly everything felt different. I got home later, walked past 4A, didn't slow down, didn't look, didn't think, just went inside, closed the door, and decided very clearly I was not doing this. The next few days were quiet. When I saw her in the hallway, I was polite, normal, neutral. Hey, that was it. No lingering, no conversations, no anything. She noticed. Of course she noticed. She notices On the third day, there was a knock. I already knew. I opened the door. She was standing there, looking at me. Not confused, not upset, just focused. What happened? She asked. Nothing, I said. Jade, I'm fine. I said I'm fine. There it was, that edge. The one I hadn't used with her before. She looked at me, longer this time, like she was trying to decide something, or understand something, or maybe give me time to fix it. Okay, she said, and left. Just like that. I closed the door, stood there in the silence, and immediately regretted it. I called Destiny. I saw her with someone, I said. Where? Parking lot? And they looked. I paused, because what do you even say? They looked close. Destiny was quiet. Do you know who it was? No. Did you ask? No. Because it's not my place, I said finally. We're not, nothing has even happened. Silence. Then you're already hurt, Destiny said softly. I didn't respond, because she was right. Jade, she said, that feeling you have right now, that is not a neighbor feeling. I sat on my couch, staring at the wall, the same wall, the one between us. What if she's with someone? I asked. Then you ask, Destiny said. You don't disappear. I knew she was right. I just wasn't ready. 2 days later, she knocked. I opened the door. She looked different, not angry, not distant, just done waiting. Can I come in? She asked. I stepped aside. She walked in, stopped in the middle of my living room, turned to face me. The woman in the parking lot, she said. My heart dropped. You saw us. Not a question. I didn't answer. Didn't need to. Her name is Maya, she said. She's my sister? I blinked. Once. Twice. She came to visit for the weekend. She lives in Seattle. I sat down. Very slowly. Your sister, I said. My younger sister. I looked at my hands, then back at her. I didn't know you had a sister. You didn't ask, she said. Not harsh. Not accusing. Just true. Silence. I started. I know what you thought, she said. She sat down. Not far. Not too close. Just enough. Why didn't you ask me, she said. I didn't answer. Because I didn't have a good one. Instead of just disappearing, I didn't want to assume. I said. That I had any right to. She looked at me. Really looked. You have every right, she said. And that changed something. Jade, she said quietly. What do you think has been happening here? I didn't answer. Because I knew. I just hadn't said it. From where I'm sitting, she continued. Something has been happening. For a while. And I don't understand why we're both still pretending it isn't. The room went quiet. I looked at her. Really looked. At everything. The coffee. The truck. The way she stayed. The way she listened. The way she said my name. I got scared, I said. Of what? Of it being real? She held my gaze. Didn't look away. Didn't soften it. Didn't make it easier. It's real, Jade. Her voice was quiet, but certain. It's been real for a while, and something in my chest. Finally, let go. Like I had been holding my breath for weeks and didn't even know it. And for the first time, I wasn't scared. I was scared of losing it. It's real, Jade. It's been real for a while. She said it so simply, like it was obvious, like she had known, and was just waiting for me to catch up. The room felt different after that. Quieter, heavier, like something had finally been placed on the table, and neither of us could ignore it anymore. I should have asked, I said, about the parking lot. Yes, she said. No hesitation, no softening, just, yes. Instead of disappearing, yes, I nodded, looked down at my hands. I'm sorry, I said. She didn't respond immediately, and when she did, her voice was softer, but still steady. Stop apologizing for being scared. It's human. I looked up. You're not scared? I asked. She paused, just for a second. Then, terrified, that surprised me of what? She held my gaze. Didn't look away this time. Didn't deflect. Of getting this wrong? I felt that. Of it meaning something, she continued. And then, she stopped. And then what? I asked quietly. She exhaled, and then losing it. That did something to me. Because suddenly, this wasn't just about me being nervous, or her being calm, or the tension, or the almost moments. This was about two people who actually cared, and were both trying not to mess it up. Alex, I said. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. The words came out before I could second guess them. She looked at me, really looked, like she was measuring them, testing them. You don't know that, she said. I know enough, I replied. Silence. I know that you make me nervous, I said. In a way I don't want to fix. Her expression shifted, just slightly. I know that I save your texts, I added, which is not something I do. That got the smallest reaction. And I know, I said, that I tried to avoid you for 4 days, and it didn't work. Her lips pressed together, like she... Because you were already... I stopped. Already what? She asked. Her voice? Quieter now. I swallowed. Already the first thing I think about in the morning. The room went still. She didn't speak. Didn't move. Just looked at me. And then, slowly, deliberately, she reached over and took my hand. Just like that. No hesitation. No buildup. No question. Her hand was warm. Steady. Certain. I've wanted to do that, she said, since the night of the flood. I blinked. What took you so long, I asked. That almost smile again. You were taking the stairs, she said. I laughed. Actually laughed. And something about that moment, that ease, made everything feel lighter. She smiled. Fully this time. No holding back. No restraint. And I realized I had been waiting for that smile since the beginning. Then she leaned in. Slow, careful, like she was giving me time. A choice, a way out. I didn't move, didn't pull back, didn't think, I just... And she kissed me. Soft, at first, then certain. Like she had thought about it, decided. And now, she wasn't second-guessing anything. I kissed her back, and suddenly, everything made sense. The package, the window, the stairs, the coffee, the parking lot, all of it. This was what it had been building toward. We pulled back, just slightly. She looked at me. Hi, she said. I smiled. Hi. We both laughed. Quiet, a little breathless, like we couldn't believe it took this long. For the record, I said, I knew from the package. She raised an eyebrow. Knew what? That you were going to be a problem. She looked at me, unimpressed. Nice product, by the way, I added. She closed her eyes. Briefly, I cannot believe, she said slowly, that is how this started. It's how we started, I said. She opened her eyes, looked at me, and this time, she didn't hide the smile. Not even a little. Yeah, she said quietly. After the kiss, we didn't move. Not immediately. We were still close, still sitting on my couch, still processing. She didn't let go of my hand, and I didn't ask her to. There was this quiet, not awkward, not heavy, just new, like we had stepped into something, and were both figuring out how to exist in it. So, I said. She exhaled, just slightly. So, she echoed. We both soft. A little nervous, which was new, because Alex was never nervous except apparently with me. You okay? She asked. Yeah, I said. Too fast, then slower? Yeah. I think I gestured vaguely. Need a second. She nodded, like she understood exactly what I meant. Same, she said. And That made something in me settle, because this wasn't one-sided. Not the feelings, not the uncertainty, not the weight of it. We were both in it. She leaned back slightly, still close, still within reach. Was that? I started. She looked at me. Yeah, she said. I blinked. You didn't even let me finish. I know what you were going to ask. You don't. That was not a mistake, she said. Oh, okay, I said. Okay, she repeated. And just like that, something settled. Not everything, not all the questions, not the what now, but the important part. This was intentional. She looked at me again, softer now, less guarded. Are you still nervous? She asked. I thought about it. Honestly, yes, I said. She nodded. Good, good. Means you care, she said. I stared at her. You say things like that, I said, and then act like you're not emotionally dangerous. That almost smile again. You're dramatic, she said. And Yo kissed me, I replied. You kissed me back fair. We sat there for a second. Then, without thinking, I leaned in again this time. She didn't hesitate. And the second kiss was not careful. Still soft. Still warm. But easier. Like we had already crossed something. And now we didn't have to question it anymore. When we pulled back, we were both smiling. Okay, she said. And somehow, that one word meant something completely different now. She stayed longer that night. We didn't do anything dramatic, didn't rush anything. We just stayed, talked, sat close, sometimes not talking at all. At some point, her shoulder brushed mine. Neither of us moved away, and that felt bigger than it should have. Eventually, she stood. I should go, she said. Yeah, I said, but neither of us moved. She looked at me. I looked at her. You're still here, I said. So are you, she replied. We both laughed. Then finally, she walked to the door, opened it, paused, turned back. Jade, the way she said my name now, was different. Yeah? She hesitated. Just for a second, then... I meant what I said about this being real. My chest tightened. I know, I said. She nodded, and then she left. I stood there, in my apartment, alone. But not really, because everything felt different now. Like something had finally found its place. And for the first time, I wasn't wondering what this was anymore. I knew. 3 months later, Destiny showed up again, unannounced. Of course, I opened the door, and there she was. Suitcase, energy, chaos. She stepped inside, looked around, stopped. Slowly, very slowly, she turned to me. There are 2 mugs, she said. I looked at the counter. 2 mugs. There are always 2 mugs, I said. There are work gloves by your door, she added. I glanced down. Those could be mine. They are not your aesthetic, Destiny. The cabinet hinge is fixed. Yes, the light doesn't flicker. And you're glowing. I am not glowing. You are glowing, Jade. I moisturized. Where is she? Right on cue. A knock. 2 knocks. Specific, familiar. I didn't even need to check. I opened the door. Alex, standing there, holding a container, covered in foil. Of course. I made too much. Destiny looked at the container, then at Alex, then at me, then back at the container. I like her, Destiny said. I know, I said. Alex stepped inside, naturally, easily, like she belonged there. Because now, she did. She set the food down, stood next to me, close, effortless. Destiny watched all of it, every small detail, every glance, every shift. With the expression of someone who had been right and was enjoying it. Dinner was loud. Because Destiny, she asked questions, made comments, told stories that did not need to be told. Alex handled all of it, calm, steady, occasionally amused. And every time I spoke, she looked at me, like that hadn't changed, like that would never change. Later that night, after Destiny had finally stopped talking, after the dishes, after the laughter faded, we stood in the kitchen, side by side, quiet. You know, Alex said, not looking up from the dish in her hand. I almost didn't knock that first night. I turned to her. The package. She nodded. I almost left it outside your door. I blinked. Why didn't you? She dried her hands, set the towel down. I saw your name, she said. And I thought, she paused. Just slightly. I hope she's not embarrassed. I stared at her. I wanted you to know I wasn't going to make it weird. And then you said, I started. She closed her eyes, already knowing. Nice product, by the way, I said. She exhaled. Slow, controlled. That was a mistake, she said. No, I said. She looked at me. That was the beginning. Silence. Then, that smile. The real one. Yeah, she said quietly. I guess it was. I handed her the last plate. She dried it, set it down, and then, without thinking, without hesitation, she reached for my hand, just like she always does. Simple, certain, like it was the easiest decision in the world. Outside, the city moved. Cars, voices, life happened. Inside, there was a candle burning, because now, I like candles. There was pasta on the stove because she always makes too much. And there was a woman who noticed everything, who remembered small things, who knocked and changed everything. All because of one package, I said. She glanced at me. Delivered to the wrong apartment, I added. She stepped closer. Or the right one, she said. I smiled. Because yeah, it was. And if you had told me that the most embarrassing moment of my life would turn into this, I wouldn't have believed you. But some things don't make sense at the beginning. Some things start awkward, messy, unexpected, and somehow turn into exactly what you needed. All it takes is one wrong delivery and the right person.
And that's a wrap on today's story. I hope it got you. I hope you laughed. I hope you felt something, because that's exactly why we're here. If you're
new to GL Yuri Tales, welcome! You found your people. We drop brand new original GL stories Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday. So hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a story. Thank you so much. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and remember, the best love stories are always the complicated ones. See you soon.